Now, ZaRDieNT, he's a player that I don't think I've seen much of in StarCraft Evolution. I've casted him before in StarCraft 2, of course. He's a more prominent player from the CIS region in StarCraft 2. In Brood War, less familiar. So I'm curious to see how he performs and curious to see what his shape is in. Oh my god. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our Italian Zerg player. I should say, actually random. He's random. He rolls on Zerg for the Platinum Heroes. It is LetaleX. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the pink Terran player, the pink Terran himself, representing Hokago T-Team. It is ZaRDieNT. Here we go. I'll fix up the player names. Hold on. I need to figure out the capitalization. Hold on. I think this is correct. Man. Yeah, I got you. Hold on. I'll fix the color. Close enough. Hold on. To have a lighter shade. Yeah. But here we go. We're getting into our TvZ for the first time tonight. Let's go. We have a Terran versus Zerg. It's going to be hatch first out of LetaleX. Going for a hatch pull opener from our Zerg player. Likewise, Racked Expand out of our Terran. But here we go. We are getting to our final round of 8 match. Now, LetaleX, of course, he is typically a Protoss player. So for SC2, he is Protoss, but for Brood War, I believe he does roll. No, sorry. I said he rolls random. My apologies. For SC2, he's Protoss, and for Brood War, I believe he's Zerg. Not random. Okay. Do I have to correct that? Give Dragoons blink. God no. Bearing in mind that the Brood War Protoss is less mobile than the SC2 Protoss, that is true. To make up for that, that is where units like Dragoons and units in general, they are more beefier, they have more range, they do more damage. That is how that is balanced out. So, no, like introducing like SE2 like abilities and mechanics into Brood War is not within the spirit of what the mod is. Would you want to keep the races distinctly different? We don't want to, you know, turn them into each other. If you want that, I mean, that's what Starbow is, right? If you recall. It's been, I don't think Starbow is supported anymore, but Starbow was basically a hybrid which incorporates like SE2 and Brood War into one race, and like it kind of like melds the two. That's what Starbow was a long time ago. And so now LetaleX just getting his third base, getting his natural hatchery or macro hatch setup as well. Starbo's team went on to make it. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's good to know. Good to know. I was curious. Things that do slip in, but that's really fun to hear. Avex, it's really cool. I know that the people that are working on Gates of Pyre, they initially, God, what was the mod called? Oh God, I want to say like it was like something like Nordic. It was called something. It was called a different mod in StarCraft 2 initially before Gates of Pyre. That's it, Vanguard. I was thinking Viking. I was like, it's not a Viking, it's not a Valkyrie or something like that. Vanguard, yeah, that's it. Kind of close. That's what it was initially called. Yeah, we hear updates from the Gates of Pyre team every now and then. It's always cool to see. As LetaleX is link flooding, by the way. He's not joining. LetaleX is not joining up. He does have a bunch of bases, but he's just massing up nothing but lings. And he's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. So far, nice Sim City here by ZaRDieNT. He is walled up. He is walled off. For the most part, he is going to get surrounded, though. Yeah, he's out in the open. Best case scenario here for LetaleX. Okay, nice kiting here. Nice stutter stepping from ZaRDieNT. He will shut down these lings. Yeah, it does hold the line. The Lings, they just melt, they evaporate. And this is a rough start for LetaleX. He was hoping for a surround. He didn't quite get it. Marines, they did slip away. And we're just making more Lings. We're just committing. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Just still mass Link here from LetaleX. And as long as ZaRDieNT doesn't move out, as long as he doesn't get surrounded, he should be fine. He should be fine. As I say that, he does start to move out, which is concerning. Sees the Lings, has to back up. Okay, does pull away. Okay, he's playing with fire right now. Okay, there we go. Does recognize that there's mass Ling waiting for him, so he does fully wall off, and now he's just chilling here on 2 bases, getting a 3rd CC. This is going to be a 3-1-1 setup. ZaRDieNT looking solid, and LetaleX is in a rough position. You may be thinking, oh, LetaleX, but he has all these bases. That is true, but he's just now taking his gases, and his drone count is in the gutter. Like, his economy here is lackluster for LetaleX. All these Lings could have been drones. So he has to build back up, re-droning, resaturating. Likewise, we do have ZaRDieNT getting into his own starport. With the arrival of the starport, he can go for drop play, he can start moving out and start being active. Without medevacs, he's stuck at home. And this is where I have to question the build a little bit here. This was a 3-1-1, so very late starport by ZaRDieNT. So this is giving LetaleX more time to drone. Based on all these gases being taken, this could be Lings into Muta. I mean, it should be, just because if it was Hydras, we'd already see the Hydra dead. Bearing in mind, Hydras are hatch tech, not lair tech, so with the lair, should be Muta play. But they're still a ways away. There's a scan, sees the gases, that is the tell. Again, there's just so much detail here in the crevices on the new extractor. every time. But shout out to the art team, of course. Putting in a lot of work with the custom building models. Likewise, Melee's on the way. The lair is done. Shows the Spire. There it is. Spire is on the way. So Ling Muta here from LetaleX. But here comes ZaRDieNT. It does break out. I see the thought process from Vanguard to Viking though. Look, they both start with V. They're both like medieval in some sense. You know, it all melts together. I was thinking Viking, Valkyrie, we got there in the end. But now though, Lings, they do knock down that front door. Mass repair does hold the line. Meanwhile, ZaRDieNT gets across the map, but there's nothing to defend, there's nothing here. Lings, they do nothing against this army without banelings, without any kind of splash damage. The bio army stims, and it wins. Takes down the expansion, 15 drone kills. And ZaRDieNT, he cannot be dealt with. He cannot be dealt with, not with mass Ling. It's not gonna happen. We have the attendants around, and Zerg players, look away, baby. GG gets called. The Zerglings, they just melt, and ZaRDieNT will break out. We'll take game number 1. Whew, GG. ZaRDieNT does take a lead. Again, LetaleX, he was all in earlier. He went for just a mass Ling all in. The all in failed, and because of that, that's why he was vulnerable. That's why he was exposed. That's why the Spire was late, the lair was late, any further tech or droning was late. It was all or nothing, and with that, ZaRDieNT takes the game. Does take the game, and from here, we're jumping into game numero 2. Now, this is loser's pick, so LetaleX, will be able to pick his race of choice, and now he can do what he does best. He is picking the SE2 Protoss race, his main race. Let's go. So we're jumping into game 2. We're jumping into our TvP. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Italian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. Oh, as I have to redo that. It is LetaleX. Un momento. Bam. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pink Terran player, now the Brutal Terran representing Hokago T-Team. It is ZaRDieNT. Mate, that is a gold CC. I don't think I've seen it be this gold before. Oh, it's like blinding me. Oh my god. Mate, how rich is he? I feel like usually it's a little bit more gray than this. It's like a little bit more gray, a little bit more pink. Damn, He's pimped out. He's oh my god. For now though, we're settling in double gas opener out of ZaRDieNT, going for a faster factory before CC. Aye. It's blinding me. Meanwhile, we just see LetaleX setting up back at home. More standard setup here, wall off on the low ground. Does that mean we get Valkyries? They're great. I mean, potentially. Valkyries, of course, they're a little bit more of a niche unit. We do see them in ZBT against Mutas, for example, if we ever really go to that kind of game state or got that kind of game mode. Against Air, of course, against Skytoss, I suppose. If we ever end up on a island map, then we might see Valkyries come into play there. Fun fact, we actually haven't seen either Neo Azul's Siren or Paradox or any of the other island maps yet in tonight's broadcast. As ZaRDieNT is going double gas into first factory into a second factory as well. We are meching it up. So ZaRDieNT is going into mech. Again, mech is more viable here in TvP from the Brood War side of things. Vultures are just a very versatile unit. Likewise, Goliaths as well. To the point where Goliaths have been nerfed quite a bit. Even in the most recent patch, I believe the Goliath was nerfed even further, I want to say, in the most recent patch. But for now, we have Ion Thrusters going into Vulture Speed, into a Vulture Opener. Meanwhile, back at home, do have LetaleX setting up, going for a Stargate. Stargate Opener out of our Protoss. From here, we can open up Oracle, we can go into Phoenixes, get some scouting information. It is a little bit greedy to go for a Stargate, so we'll see if we can get away with it. So far, with the SimCity, should be okay against those Vultures. Okay. Now, there are ways to break this. Similar to the Reaper and the KDA charge, you can throw down spider mines in front of the wall and just force the wall to be opened up. And spider mines are being researched as we speak. Vultures move out, they poke at the front door. They should not be able to break through. And shield batteries in position. Marines are going down. Gets both Marines. But again, this wall is still looking a little bit vulnerable here. As the Oracle does pop out, making his way across the map. We're waiting for the spider mines. And again, ZaRDieNT is looking to break through this. The Vultures can't, but the spider mines can. And here they come. The spider mines are thrown down. They force their way in, head into the mineral lines. And even spider mines on top of the ramp as well. He cannot chase. Up. Yeah, Def's gonna go down. Stalkers as well. Massive pickoff, and the mineral lines exposed. Every probe is gonna go down, and ZaRDieNT. This is getting damage. This is just far too much here. Probes are falling left and right. There's nothing to defend. There is gonna be the Oracle. Likewise, Oracle does get across the map. SCVs are going down. Meanwhile, Vultures are head towards the natural, and they get even more damage. Yeah, and this is just too much. The one Oracle, he just can't do enough. It can't do enough. It's out of energy. 19 probe kills. Meanwhile, across the map, getting some SCVs, true. SCVs are going down, but these Vultures, there's that much more DPS output. They can chase down the probes that much faster. They're not NG based. They're not going to run out, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left here. ZaRDieNT, it looks like he will claim the series. I was hoping for a back and forth, hoping for an ace match, but no, not this time. Not here, not in this TvP. As the SCVs, they get some economic, the Oracle gets some economic damage, but the turret is done. The turret will complete just in time. And with that, we have 14 SCVs against 4 probes. Gets 4 workers, and there's still spider mines all over the place. The spider mines behind the mineral line, the spider mines here outside of the main. As a reminder, spider mines do not trigger on workers. Workers, they count as floating units, as you can see. They're like hovering on the ground, and these spider mines are like ground sensor based. So they do not trigger on workers. But they do trigger on anything else on the ground. I say that, like vultures also count as floating units, true. They're hovering. LetaleX trying to poke in. But again, with that turret, should be okay. ZaRDieNT, I mean. Getting... Oh! Another SCV. Another SCV goes down. Goliaths are online. We have our Goliaths. Spider-Man's being thrown out at all the third base locations. And we can see the LetaleX, he's slowly recovering economically. He's building up his probe count. But the army is going to be what's lacking. These oracles, they have potential, but they have to be careful. Counter engage. Oh, going for the Goliath. First Goliath does go down. Not bad. Going for the second, and we have the mass repair. Oh, just in time. Yeah, repair pops off, gets one oracle. There's one oracle left. He's fighting head on. He's going to go down. Yeah, LetaleX does overextend. GG gets called, and ZaRDieNT will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ZaRDieNT will claim the series, will advance on into the next round. And LetaleX is going to go down early on here. Again, I was hoping for a back and forth, hoping to sink my teeth into the more TvP or TvZ. But in the end, ZaRDieNT does prove too much to handle. And we have our quarterfinals wrapping up. Let's go. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Quarterfinals has concluded. We have Nihed advancing on over at Deshi. We have Kot taking down DeWalt, and we have Kot versus Nihed up next in the semifinals. In the lower semis, we have Prome taking down StarCraft, and of course ZaRDieNT over LetaleX. We have a PvZ and a PvT in those semifinals. Can we avoid the PvP finals? I hope so. I do hope so. We've casted a lot of PvP tonight already. Would be nice to take a break from that, but we'll see. Comes down to our players, come down to our opponents. It comes down to Kot and ZaRDieNT. We'll see if they can pull it off. We shall see. Just catching up in the chat. Reapers will also be floating units since they don't touch the ground. True, I believe. I don't know necessarily. Actually, Reapers, do they touch the ground when their jetpacks run out? When they're not moving? I think they do touch the ground. Not too sure. But there's a certain rule set regarding that, regarding like floating units and not. Regardless, that does wrap up our first series. Reavers are hover units, yes. There you go. They are. But we are going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, we are getting into our semi-finals. So take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and when we come back, we'll have our next semis. See you soon. See you soon.